angels willing to hold us in their arms. When our worth of stone or ashes, and we both passed on. Let forever mean forever and carry on.
Alrighty, gonna show you the birth of a Preppernurse1 decal. I'm gonna show you the cutting process, the weeding process, and the masking process. Right now we're on the cutting process. This is our cutter. We don't have an expensive cutter. We don't have a Roland brand or anything like that. We have an inexpensive cutter because, of course, the expensive brands are just outrageous in price. They do a little better job, but these do just fine. It just might be a little bit more of a hassle in the weeding process. So anyway, I'm going to go over and I'm going to click cut. So everything should be set up, good to go. Let me make sure that I did do that. Let me go ahead and I always do a reset before I cut. I click the reset button because if I don't, in between cuts, it acts all funny. So it should be good to go. I'm going to go click on the computer for it to go ahead and cut. And I'm not going to show you as it cuts the whole strip. It's going to cut a strip of 3 of them. So I'm just going to make sure that you get to see the first one and maybe part of the second one. So it's a little noisy. I'll let you know that ahead of time. Okay, that's the cutting process. I went ahead and let the camera run while I cut all three. That way you could see all of the design cut. So I will see you at the table and we'll start weeding it. Okay, now for the weeding process. I'm going to try to do this. Pull the excess. There's 3 decals on there. Little piece came off of this one here. What I'm going to do is, I'll show you how I do this. All decals you weed a little differently. Oops. Got the vinyl stuck on that other one. I'll deal with that in just a second as soon as I get all that out. Looks like, I don't know if you can see it there, but it looks like the cutter popped out a little piece that's right there on that one. Sometimes that happens. So if you wonder why decals are more expensive than stickers, you're looking at why. A little bit of time involved here. A lot of skill involved here. There's, you know, when you're new to working with vinyl, you'll run into all kinds of little bitty issues. Trying to get that little piece off of there. You'll run into all kinds of little issues. That's natural. Especially when using a cheaper vinyl cutter, as I was explaining before. Because sometimes they leave little bits and pieces. Letters can be fun. See how it started to pop up that T? So I had to stop and lay back down again. This is where the skill comes in. It's just stuff you learn over time, and you just learn how to deal with it. And vinyl can be forgiving if you have a little bit of experience with it. It can be forgiving. But it can also be a complete nightmare to work with until you get them skills built up. And then these P's here are a little daunting, so I come in and kind of help them out a little bit. You see how I pulled that up? Okay, now for the bottom text. that would be a weeded decal. Now, instead of going ahead and doing the other two like I would normally do, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Now I'm going to mask it. Got that alone by itself. I'm going to grab some masking here, and I need to get another size of masking. It's like a big roll of masking tape, but it's a special masking tape. It doesn't quite have as much adhesion as like the regular masking tape you would buy at the store for doing household chores. And this part can be a little fun, especially when the masking sticks to itself. As it likes to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down here and kind of work from the center like that with my hand. I'm going to grab a squeegee here. Now that it's all on there, better not do that way. And that would be one of the 6-inch Preppernurse1 Prepare or Die decals. So, as you can see, there's a bit of a task involved in doing it. So, that's why they're not as cheap as stickers. And that's also why those that do vinyl are kind of particular when they get called stickers. We typically will correct people and say, no, decals. Again, it's not something that's just printed out, made real cheap and easy. Something that'll fade or the scratch or whatever. These won't. You put them on your car or truck or whatever kind of vehicle you have, and they will look good for a very, very long time. For years they will look good. So anyway, there you go. The birth of a Preppernurse1 decal.